The entire team at Emsolation want to acknowledge that we are gathered on the traditional lands of the Wurundjeri people. We want to recognise that we are recording and telling our stories on the stolen land of our country's first storytellers. We wish to pay our respects to all Wurundjeri elders and ancestors, and to extend that respect to any First Nations peoples who listen to Emsolation. We recognise Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples' continued connection to the land and waters of this country, and acknowledge that sovereignty was never ceded. Always was, always will be.
M. Rusciano.
This is one of the worst experiences I've ever had in my bed and with a computer, and that is saying something.
And Marchella Rusciano Barrow.
Yeah,
Mufasa.
sucked in.
Okay.
This is Emsolation.
He owns the camping ground / caravan park.
Correct. Played by Scott Patterson, a.k.a. Luke from Gilmore Girls.
And just so you know, it is Luke from Gilmore Girls.
Yeah.
It's the same character.
Just so you know, it's the same guy.
You're in Emsolation.
All right. I spoke to Michael on the phone this morning. He's like, "You sure? I can do it."
Oh, my God, he's so cut.
He's
He's
jealous.
so cut. He's jealous.
Jealous.
I said, "No,
Well, I haven't done it.
You're interstate.
Don't you?
You're interstate, and it stuffs up the video.
Yeah.
So too bad. So sad. That's not a very good clack. No, I feel like because you're holding it on the end, you're limiting its potential. That's better. Did you hear the difference?
Yeah.
It's crisp.
Yeah, good.
Let's get straight into this. We have a lot to discuss. Well, hello there and welcome to Emsolation. My name is M. Rusciano. Don't do it. You little bitch. My daughter's joining me today. Filling in. Here we go. I'm a writer, a singer, a stand-up comedian, a maximalist power queen, a neurodivergent magic brain, and a podcaster. I feel like my mic's too low. Hang on. Sorry, James. And together with my best friend since I was 11, award-winning screenwriter, Mr. Michael Lucas, although this week, and together with the person I grew in my own womb,
Together with my daughter since I was 21 years old.
Marchella Vincenza Rusciano Barrow. I can't make it fancy.
No.
Can't make Barrow
Let's
fancy.
just drop it off.
You know what
It's
Scott
done.
says? When Scott says,
I will no longer use Barrow. This is my official statement. I'm getting rid of Barrow.
she's
It's
emancipating
time.
herself.
It's time.
You know what he says literally when someone asks him what his name is? He says Scott Barrow. As in real
Barrow.
Like, as if anyone's
I
going
actually
to...
use that now too, though.
But honestly, as if anyone's going to struggle with Barrow, you wish.
I know, but you just hear Barrow and you go, that's a bit weird.
Then he should say Barrow. Yeah, it's that shit. That's how it should be followed with. Not as in wheel. With all due respect to one of my favourite humans on the planet, Graham Leslie Barrow, his
I
dad.
thought you were going to say Scott. I was like...
No, his dad. My father-in-law, I genuinely have the best relationship with my father-in-law, with Grasser. I love him so much. Famously, the first time I met him, I ate a piece of cake in front of him and he said, "Oh, that's going straight down the back of your pants."
Yes.
The second time I met him, he got nude and showered under the hose out the back after a bike ride and I saw his penis.
Oh, my God.
And I'm like, this man and I will be lifelong friends. He walks in and whenever he sees me, he's like, "G'day, Em." And I go, "Hey, Graz, how are ya?" He goes, "Better than you." And I'm like, actually, at the moment, he hasn't been very well. And I see he looks like he's got leprosy. Two blunt cunts. My father-in-law and I love you, Graham Leslie Barrow. So, Barrow's not impressive.
Graham Leslie Barrow is such a name.
Isn't it the best name?
Grazza.
Grazza. No one's allowed to call him granddad or grandpa. Everyone calls him Grazza.
No one. Yeah, no one calls his...
That would be weird.
So many grandchildren, none of them
It would
call
be
him grandpa.
weirdly paternal. It'd be too weird and
No,
soft.
it's Grazza.
He's Grazza.
Grazza.
He's not a grandpa or a no. That's
No.
all. That all implies.
That implies we hug.
softness, love. Oh my God. So here we are, Chella and I, this week. I obviously sound the picture of health. Thank you so much. Back in my breakfast radio days, always the bosses would say, "No one wants to hear you sick. So, make sure you try and perk up if you're unwell. Take all the pseudoephedrine you can." So I still have this weirdness around not sounding tippity top. But maybe it's husky. Maybe it's amazing. Maybe it's something that...
Maybe
Shut up.
it's something else.
Maybe I sound like Chella as a toddler. Mum, I hungry. Mum, I'd never know. I'd always know where she was because I was the only person whose toddler sounded like Patty and Selma. Pack-a-day smoker at 3.
I rate it. It's unique.
Mum, wipe
It's
my
better
bum.
than,
Mum, I gotta go toilet.
That's better.
Mum, I did a poo.
Makes life interesting.
Drag queen, baby.
Well, I figured it out because she was imitating Scott. That's how, for so long, we were trying to figure out why does she sound like a drag queen? And then her dad and I figured out it's because she was spent so much time with Scotty. And Scotty talks like this. So Chella ended up talking like Scotty, which is better. If you had a choice between my voice as a toddler and Scott's, you wouldn't pick mine. Bitch, get me some food. Imagine. All right, well, here we are. Now, last week, you may recall, if you're up to date on our episodes, I was bullied into watching a show called Baby Reindeer. Woo! Now, I figured out what happened, right? So you're all like, I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch it. And then you and Michael were like, nah, you shouldn't watch it.
And it works.
Yeah.
It works.
In my mind, I'm like, fuck those guys. Don't tell me what I can and can't watch.
Yes.
So I went home and I have been unwell. I haven't been able to get out of bed. So I put it on. And I just think, you know, when you're feeling really bad in the moment of life.
You should really sink into it.
Baby Reindeer is. And my room was a mess. I wasn't letting any natural light in. I'd been in the same pajamas.
I did notice that.
Yeah.
I also want to say because I had to use Mum's shower to shower, and so I walked past silently, and I did, and it was pitch black, and I did see it on her screen, but I didn't say anything because I knew if I said anything like, "Oh my God, you're watching it," she went, "No, what are you talking about?" And turn it off.
When this bitch would walk in, I would pause it so she wouldn't know what I was watching.
I knew, and I just said yes.
I want to tell you, it took me to a dark place.
Right? But you couldn't turn it off, could you? You couldn't look away. You wanted to, but you couldn't.
This is one of the worst fucking experiences I've ever had in my bed and with a computer, and that is saying something. When you think about the scheme of my life, fucking Stephen King best summed it up. Stephen King, the famous writer, he tweeted, "Baby Reindeer, holy shit." Yeah. That's it.
That's Stephen King saying it.
And Richard Gadd, who's the guy who wrote it and stars in it, wrote back to Stephen King, holy shit. Baby Reindeer tells the story of Donnie, who is a fictionalized version of comedian Richard Gadd, who stars in it. And it's an adaptation of his one-man play, which he played all the characters in, including the stalker, Martha. Wow. Donnie works at a pub and he befriends an eccentric customer, Martha, offers her some kindness when she's clearly very distressed in the way of a free cup of tea and some Diet Coke.
Yeah.
He didn't anticipate, though, that one moment of humanity would lead him down a very, and me as the audience, dark path, eventually forcing him to confront the demons of his past, which aren't light demons.
No.
Let's just say. There is graphic depictions of sexual assault, and it also deals with really challenging mental health issues, trauma, abuse, ideas of sexuality, how sexuality comes to be. But it does it in a really nuanced way, which I was amazed at how the topics they were covering were dense and touchy and things that aren't normally taboo.
Can I just pause for a second? Is this a spoiler-free chat?
This is not a spoiler-free.
Because surely you've seen it by now.
This is whatever the opposite of spoiler-free is. Chella and I are about to stick our heads up the birth canal of Baby Reindeer and mush our face in disgustingness. Like, we're going to give you a time code to skip ahead to. Ben will figure it out and put it in. So if you haven't watched it yet, but I almost feel like if you haven't watched it yet, it's best you listen to the spoilers. Also, there's not twists and turns. The spoilers will more act for me. I wish I had have known a lot of this going in.
Yeah.
What I learned during it.
Although I think if I knew, I wouldn't have watched it. Because I just thought, this is trending on Netflix. Fun. Put it on, Baby Reindeer.
Yay. Baby. I love babies. I love reindeers.
I love reindeers?
Sure.
But
the thing with this is make your decision now, but it is going to be spoiler laden. Here you go. We're going to give you the chance. Okay, now those lizards are gone. Baby Reindeer.
Thanks.
I just want to start off by saying, for me, for a lot of it, Donnie is the villain of the show. And that says a lot considering the other character is a hectic stalker who abuses him mentally, emotionally, spiritually. For me, he became the villain. I have never had a character stress me out more because he is his own worst enemy. Every path he chooses to walk down could have been avoided.
Yeah.
And every path he chooses is one of no return.
Yeah.
God.
The decisions that he makes at every turn.
But also I was invested in him. I liked him. I didn't his character, but I liked him as a protagonist of a show. I was invested in him. I wanted
No, we all became invested in him. But
and I think I also liked having, which can also be taboo, but the narration, which sometimes is overdone. I liked that.
Me too.
Felt like he was leading us through the story and it was like, it's okay, I actually came out on the other side of this.
True. And I was worried we were going to find out it was a posthumous voice or something.
Yeah.
But the narration really helped it. It acted like a corset on the fleshy belly of chaos that the rest of the story was. Like his narration was a great structural... what am I trying to say? What am I trying to say?
Well, it grounded the show.
There's one word I'm trying to get at. Not a plot point, a mechanism. That's not the word.
We need the screenwriter.
God damn it. So the fact that he had so many situations where he could have stopped it all escalating, that was what got me. And I've never screamed at a drama. I've never yelled at a character because that puts me in the category of people who clap when planes land.
Yeah.
That puts me in the category of people who cheer at the end of movies.
Yeah.
He can't hear me, but I found myself yelling, "Oh, for fuck's sake, Donnie!" I became Scottish too.
Wow.
For instance, when he finally decides that Martha's stalking is becoming too much, this pushed me, this ended me. When he went, instead of just saying to her, you need to stop this, we are not a thing, he tells her the reason that they can't continue to see each other.
Kind of kids, the age gap.
The age gap. And he wants to have kids. And that's the sole reason. Not the 1,000 emails she's sending a day, not the death threats, not the constant turning up at the work, trying to sabotage his career, heckling him at his own comedy shows. No, he says it's because of that age gap.
I think that he gets to the point where he's like, it's the only way I'm getting through to her. She is in this total delusion that we are in a relationship. It's the same thing when instead of saying back off, he says, we need to break up. It's like, oh,
you were never together.
God.
Oh, you should have seen me when he said that.
Oh, God.
And the way he self-sabotages is like it's an Olympic sport.
Yeah.
And the fact that this is a real story, I cannot get over it.
But that's also why it's so smart. And then he goes to the police and they're like, why didn't you, this has been going for over 6 months, why haven't you said anything? And then we go into episode 4 and all those like layers. I just think it's done so, we don't want him to make the right decision.
I did. I was so mad.
And it would have been wrapped up after like 2 episodes. Stalker gone.
Won it. Well, it's like the really interesting exploration of this guy is a performer who isn't doing very well, and then he's kind of ultimately gets the ultimate fan.
Yeah.
And he finds a way to keep her on the end of the carrot because he doesn't want to lose his one ultimate fan because she sees him the way he sees himself.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the message in it all.
And it's him realising that. Because at the start, he's like, fuck off, this woman is crazy. But, like, he starts to realise that, oh, no, I'm dependent on her and I want to listen to her messages and, like, I'm connected to her and I miss her if she's gone, which is just wild.
The way. And then there's finally a moment where there was a moment of reprieve where things are going well.
With Terry.
Slay Terry.
I love Terry.
He dates a trans woman. It's the first healthy relationship he seems to have ever had. But, of course, he fucks that up.
What a surprise.
Surprise.
The fact that he stops her from reporting that scene is insane. Martha rips hair out of her head and smashes a glass across her face. And he's still like, no, you can't report it. And then he doesn't even ever include it in his reports to the police.
Do you want some side quest information?
Yeah.
Magda Szubanski got down to the last couple for that role.
Oh.
Yeah. Good fact, huh?
Yeah.
How good's that? She's probably, I feel like the woman that ended up playing Martha
I think she's amazing. Jessica.
managed to make you sympathise with her as well as revere her.
Yeah.
So the acting from her is phenomenal.
So good.
I feel like I can't imagine any other, the way she played unhinged and vulnerable at the same time and the switch flicking My God.
Because you go from going like, what the fuck, but then going, I feel so sorry for this woman.
And it's 8 episodes. 7? 8.
8.
8. And I was sitting there at the start of it and I saw all the memes and I'm like, okay, it's 8 45-minute episodes. It can't be that bad, right?
As in it can't be that dark.
It can't be. What can they do to me?
Right.
I hit episode 4, trigger warning. I want to tell you, trigger warning. Every trigger warning possible known to man, but especially around sexual assault and violence against the LGBTQI community, within the community. I've never seen a show tackle the idea of he was heterosexual. Trigger warning to anybody right now. We will be discussing sexual assault. Again, I'm going to give you a chance to skip forward. I've never seen a TV show tackle the idea that this man was straight. He was sexually assaulted by a man and he's late 20s at this point.
Yeah.
And that leads him to question his sexuality.
Yeah.
And apparently this is something that is quite common within the queer community with gay men. And I have never seen a TV show tackle it.
Me either. Yeah.
It was a new frontier for me. And I spoke to Michael about it and he said, yeah, like, I haven't either, but it is something that he knows is quite common and really awful because what a genesis for your sexuality. Like what and then
there's already so much shame around it and then having that on top.
And you are always questioning, is it because of that or was it always there and that brought it out? So
his exploration of that is really interesting.
Incredible. And I did read how Richard Gadd, who's the main character, the writer and creator, he went through great pains and great iterations with many people over that episode to make sure that it was presented in a way that was correct but unflinching.
Yeah.
So I think I appreciate the way it was presented. And I also read a bunch of articles from queer writers saying they appreciate the way it was presented in such a brutal, unflinching and correct manner.
Yeah.
So that's why this show, I think, is really making waves because unflinching doesn't even cover it. And the moment where he has a complete breakdown on stage and he confesses everything, he's at this comedy final and he, instead of doing his routine, he just has a nervous breakdown and speaks into the mic about every trauma for about 15 minutes and that ends up going viral online. That moment was allowed oxygen because normally in a TV, I was getting uncomfortable with how long it went.
Yeah.
It went for half an episode.
I did you put the mouse on the skin and it went for half. Yeah.
Normally that would be wrapped up in a succinct little 2 minutes, something people can share on TikTok and be like, yeah, slam dunk. But they let it play out for, I would say it was 20-minute monologue and that's not something that could be yoinked and put on TikTok. And that says to me they really wanted to preserve the integrity of that episode. The whole episode is about this breakdown that he has where he outlays the sexual assault and the stalking and what it's done to him and how he realizes he's probably not very good at comedy. And yeah, that was a moment where I was like, okay, they're not fucking around.
Yep.
But ultimately, I really wish I hadn't have watched it.
Well, it's interesting though because now I read an article in The Guardian talking about how this is like a new wave of like crime TV series that are based on real life experiences because now there's like the era of social media. All these people are taking it upon themselves to now go and find the people it's based on.
Well, they have.
So, and Richard had to come out and be like, you need to stop trying to find these people. Like,
as if. It's like telling me not to watch something.
But it's also like now there's like the fans of him and Baby Reindeer have tracked down a woman they thought was her and are like sending her abuse and stalking her.
Oh, no, she said it is her. No, it's her.
No, she hasn't said it's her.
She did.
No, she said I was. No,
I am a lawyer,
and I had 3 meetings with him, but we were always with other people. Yeah, that's sus. But I'm saying it's like those people are missing the point, though. Now you're stalking the stalker, and Richard Gadd was like, "Did you even watch the show? You're missing the whole point of the show." Then, like,
and the man too, the man who sexually assaulted him is. And
I looked up that guy.
But he's come forward and said it's not him. He's a collaborator of mine.
I know, but it's scary that they look exactly the same.
I did notice that.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm not saying anything, but
I just wish it well. But may it 10 out of 10, fantastic, unflinching drama, why we love TV.
Yeah.
But may it never. There does not need to be a Baby Reindeer, what happened next sequel. I do not care. I don't want to know. From what we can gather, he ends up becoming a stalker. Spoiler alert.
But I got to say, and I said it last week, it's like I haven't had a show like that in a while that I haven't been able to stop and look away from. And I know that's because it's so disturbing.
No.
But I love that sort of television.
You became a stalker of the show.
Yeah.
Do you understand that show has evoked the same feelings Martha had about Donnie?
So good.
That when
is
can I next do it?
meta.
It's so meta. So yes, well done to everyone involved. Please find new
Never make
careers.
anything again.
Now let's have a palate cleanser.
Yes.
Chella and I have become deeply attached to an absolutely shitful TV show, and it is called Sullivan's Crossing. What did you say? Gulliver's Travels.
Gulliver's Travel.
We have never said the right name of this show. It is called Sullivan's Crossing, and it is based on the book series written by Robin Carr, whose books I have seen on my mother's shelf for
Checks out.
Robin Carr writes schmaltzy romances about small towns where the daughter made good comes home to help out the family and has a romantic realization.
Yeah.
It's incredible / terrible. So before we get into it and why we love it / hate it, we're going to do an okay stop on the trailer because I just feel like we owe you. We owe you all. Oh, my God, there it is.
Oh, my God, we're in Sullivan's Crossing.
It's filmed in Nova Scotia. It's a Canadian production, and my God, it stinks of Canada, this whole thing. Okay, let's enjoy. Now, I'm sorry, we will describe it if you're not watching the podcast. I mean, why not?
Why not?
But we're going to do an okay stop with Sullivan's Crossing and play. Oh, this as good as it's gonna get. Yes, we're into the campground. Oh, there she is.
Annoying redhead protagonist.
Maggie.
Good to see you, Frank.
Good to see you, Frank.
She's a neurosurgeon. She's just returned home.
Yeah.
Virgin River.
I think I've been so
Okay,
focused.
stop. So Maggie, neurosurgeon, locks of auburn hair, goes back home to Sullivan's Crossing, named after her father, Sully Sullivan. Mm-hmm. He owns the camping ground / caravan park.
Correct. Played by Scott Patterson, a.k.a. Luke from Gilmore Girls.
And just so you know, it is Luke from Gilmore Girls.
Yeah.
It's the same character.
Just so you know, it's the same guy.
Now, they have a strange estrangement. They're not close. Something happened. The mother and father, her mum and dad, they split up. And she feels like
thinks he abandoned her.
He never fought for her.
He didn't fight. He didn't want it.
But she's gone home. I can't remember now why. Why did she go home initially? Because she got sued for malpractice.
Oh, yeah. She's like, I need to return to nature.
Oh my God,
I need to just
go jogging.
Go sniff a river.
Yeah, I need to go fast and on a river a path with the trees flying around me because I'm fit with my Apple Watch.
Oh, yeah. She loves a run.
She loves a jog.
Loves a jog.
So here she is now with a delicate pearl necklace, not a sexual innuendo. And she's seeing her dad, Sully Sullivan, for the first time in many years. She's come home. It's a bit rude because she only comes home when she's in crisis, clearly. Bit rude. Okay, and play.
Career somewhere along the way I lost myself.
Beautiful.
We've just seen Chad Michael Murray.
Chad Michael Michaels.
One Tree Hill, Gilmore Girls. I mean, One Tree Hill's the main one, really. He's here in a white tank top, muscles out.
We are moments off from wood chopping. I just want everyone to know we're moments off from a wood
He's
chopping.
got his gloves out, ready to go, hair slicked back.
Okay, so the hair has
No, but we've had a journey.
Yeah, the hair has become a point of extreme contention for Chella and I. We're convinced there's some poor makeup person. It is their full-time job.
Well, so season 1, it's quite slicked back. It's a lot more easy going.
It's true.
But now we're currently watching season 2.
Do you know what I love? Season 2 glow-ups. The cast watch season 1 and make a list of all the things they fucking hate about
White
themselves.
teeth, tan, maybe a bit of Ozempic. I'm not saying who, but perhaps a little bit.
Everyone comes up tighter. Everyone comes back tighter. I love the season 2 glow-up. I live.
He got a lot more tiger
Tanned
stripes.
and tanned. He got teeth, tan, and tips. Yeah. Now, she's just laying, and I love how she's gone from big city neurosurgeon designer wear to now she's just a girl of the land.
Yeah, she
Now
just wears Tajay.
Yeah,
okay?
she's just in some denim with some ugly brown boots.
Just sniffing the river.
Yeah, loving it. Stop, no one's sniffing.
Ignoring the chairs and just sitting on the
No chairs.
She doesn't need a chair, okay?
And here we have Chad Michaels in the background. Displays of glory.
Oh, it's such a good film. Oh, Will Ferrell.
Okay, and play.
Think I'm hitting on you?
Okay, stop.
You think I'm hitting on you? Oh, never
was.
forget the shark tooth necklace either.
Spoiler alert, he was hitting on her.
Oh, my God.
And the shark tooth necklace is something I would have masturbated over at 13. I'm not saying. I saw a shark tooth necklace at the BP the other day and I thought about it. I thought about buying it to wear. I genuinely did.
Oh, I was like, and I thought about it. What
I mean, that would do an injury anyway.
Oh.
But I saw it and I thought, Chad Michaels.
Chad Michael Murray.
Single-handedly bringing back the shark tooth. Second only to the tiny white shells strung together in a tight choker. My cousin David Dicker was a big fan of those. Hello, Dave. I know you listen. And play.
You have a nice day.
Oh, she will. Oh, they just had a nice little smile.
Maggie's father and the years. Nothing changes and nothing changes.
Okay, stop.
We just had a wood chop scene, if you're not watching. We just really just raised it above the head, came down swinging fast and hard.
The directors really said, how are we going to make middle-aged women moist?
Yeah. Ooh.
Give Chad an axe. Give him an axe. I can't even know what he's... Why didn't they call him Chad in the show? I don't care that it's a book and you're
What's his name?
I don't know.
Couldn't tell you.
Don't care for it.
Couldn't tell you.
It's Chad Michaels.
Chad Michael Murray.
He's chopping wood in a sexy way, okay? I don't think there's any other way to chop wood.
I think that's the only important part of this trailer. I won't
Is
lie.
that one of your favourite erotic audios? A guy chopping wood
Yeah.
with an Irish accent.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can grunt in accents, I've learned. And play.
That pass from the head to the heart.
Oh, Frank.
Okay, stop.
Okay,
We
let's
love
talk
Frank.
about Frank.
We love
Okay,
Frank.
wait. So Mum and I were away and we wanted to watch something. We didn't want any emotional exhaustion.
Little did we know.
So we put on Sullivan's Crossing.
Yeah.
We watched it in a night. And they're like hour-long
Season one.
episodes.
Yeah.
Season 1.
Yeah.
10 episodes.
Yeah.
And Mum is...
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert, okay? But come on, do you really care? Mum's like scrolling and reading the synopsis because we were trying to figure out what we know Frank from.
No, we were also trying to figure out when there's some
When
romance.
we get a kiss,
Yeah,
all
we're
right?
so
Spoiler
sick
alert,
of the
we fucking don't.
tension.
Anyway.
So I was reading the episode synopsis,
and then
as is my want.
And then Mum goes, oh. And I went, what did you read? And she goes, he gets shot!
No, I didn't say it like that. You are such a terrible storyteller. Honestly, I don't know how you've come from my bosom. I just don't get
That's exactly what
it.
happened.
No, I didn't. I said, oh no, Frank, don't get too attached.
And then
Then
you
I
said he gets shot.
And then I said, I waited a
or
few
did
minutes.
I say he gets shot?
And then, no, then I waited a few minutes and I said, there's a gunshot. It could have been
So
Frank.
this is episode 1. So every episode we're just on edge. When does Frank get shot? Is he going to get shot?
And
Oh, someone's
by the
going to pull a
way-
gun. Oh, no, it's just a tree axe. Don't worry.
Frank is the only character I like. He's an elderly Native American Indian and he is like, he's the patriarch of the town.
Yeah.
Everybody loves Frank. And so the idea that Frank was going to get shot was really traumatizing to me. So I did start every episode with, oh God, is this the time? Anytime a
When we
sus
say goodbye to
person,
Frank.
anytime there was a sus man around or woman, I was like, oh God, well, look, watch him. He's got a gun. Look at these two here. Look at them. Heaven. Look at them. Wow. Now, see, now I want you to understand. See
Look at
that little, the top of Chad Michaels' head there. There's going to be a journey for that one piece at the front. And the journey ends in season 2 at his jawline. And I think, gang, I might at the end of this, can you just get up season 2 so we can observe the
like
journey?
It's like...
It's stunning.
Let me show you.
You
It's
can't.
like-
Your hair isn't long enough. No,
No, but he's got one piece that's just like this.
no, we're going to get it up. And play.
Oh.
Okay, stop. Can you get up season 2, please, James? Is this as good as it's gonna get? It's the worst TV show I cannot even. Just as Baby Reindeer was bad, like so good, like one of the most exquisite, so good. This is genuinely bad.
Look at the hair there.
Okay. Wait,
there's
we
someone
need season
filming.
2. Is there a season 2 preview? What about that one? Anything with season 2? Will Sully be at season 2? Yeah, Sully, that one.
Oh, God.
Here we go.
They've also really amped up
No, we just want to watch
Sully's storyline.
Oh, too much lip gloss too.
So much.
Wait, we just need Chad's hair.
Thinking about sticking around?
I was. Now,
There it
you
is.
see that
Can
little
you see that?
piece?
That never moves.
Never.
And it's always. Do you see? I mean, his hair's really grown.
It also gets more highlight, like that one piece goes more platinum blonde as the series progresses.
Chad Michaels is definitely a person who has a solarium at his house.
Absolutely.
One
And
of
that
those,
he is
like Paul
always
Hogan.
wet now in this
Always
series.
wet.
They've just got that spritzer
Yeah.
bottle on him 24/7.
Someone got given some extra virgin olive oil in a spray.
Yeah, they said more.
That
Do
changed,
more.
That changed my life when I bought myself one of those. I bought myself a spray bottle for olive oil. Like, it really was one of my greatest kitchen add-ons.
Just like to spray yourself.
What? Honestly.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
We use it all the time.
Except having to fill it up. I don't do
Oh,
that.
the sensory
That's-
issues.
no,
Dad does that. I make Dad do that. But yeah, no, it's the olive oil spraying on Chad. Sometimes I'm like, girl, calm down.
He'll do one set, one weight, and then he'll come up and he's dripping.
Who researched that sweat distribution? Because I don't know that he's going to
They
have
just
a
went,
full...
oh, Chad, I think you need a bit more. I just think you need a bit more.
I just think about the washing.
everywhere.
It is a bitch to get oil stains off anything.
Yeah, but he's just wearing the same flannel.
No.
I'm sure they got 50
the
different
white
versions of that.
singlets, you can never get those white again. They've just been chucked out after every wash.
Absolutely.
So,
Or sold.
oh, I'd be into that. I'd buy an oil-dripped Chad Michael.
Oh.
But then there he is. He is, I just want to say, he is dangerously close to what happens to a lot of men when they reach a certain age. They go from heartthrob to late in life lesbian.
Yeah.
Mick Jagger,
Brad
Pitt,
Pitt.
Steve Tyler.
Tyler,
Bradley Cooper.
Bradley Cooper. Like, they do just cross
Urban
over.
even.
Keith Urban.
Keith Urban.
Keith Urban's
He
always
is on
been a
his way
handsome
to-
lesbian.
Yeah.
He's on his way with the hair, though, especially the tiger stripe.
Yeah. Look, and I love that transition for them.
Oh, yeah, I'm not mad about
live
it.
for it. But Chad is a prime candidate for that.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. So, look, if you're looking for something to soothe your soul, Sullivan's Crossing is not it. Don't watch the Baby Reindeer.
Wait, actually, I've got a video to show.
Oh, tell everyone what the video is.
So, for my birthday a couple years ago, Dad got me a cameo, and it was Mum got me a cameo.
No, Dad did.
Mum organised a cameo that Dad put his name to, and it goes for 3. He sent me. It was from Scott Patterson.
Wait, give a proper backstory radio reset.
I am. It's.
Why you love him.
I'm getting there. It's from Scott Patterson from my favourite TV series, Gilmore Girls. He plays Luke, who is the diner owner and like the main love interest of the story to Lorelai Gilmore.
Can I allow you a special interest autistic deep dive moment into Gilmore Girls and talk about...
That's so
Do it.
overwhelming.
Please do it. Here we go. And
No, why?
I'm allowing you an
stressed.
autistic
No, I'm
special
not prepared
interest.
for this.
You're always prepared.
No, but what?
Why do you love Gilmore Girls? What is that to you? Why do you go to it? Tell me. Talk about it all.
I am never not watching Gilmore Girls. I'm always watching Gilmore Girls. It's because it's fast paced, and I've only just started to realize this because Lorelai is.
Who is playing things in my ears?
I'm pregnant.
Please stop it.
Someone's pregnant.
Someone's pregnant. Thank you, James. And we need to
I'm
fix the screen.
pregnant.
This isn't great. We are, okay, fix the screen. It's all right. She's breathing. She's getting, okay.
I feel like this is boring. I already
Absolutely
feel like I'm
not.
boring.
No, you are in an autistic, I'm allowed, this is what this podcast is for. This is your special interest topic. You are never not watching Gilmore Girls. Go.
Should I?
Just keep going. They'll
Okay.
fix the screen.
All
They
right,
better. I'm going to have a tantrum. People are watching, James.
Gilmore Girls, it's a CW series. It goes for 7 seasons. I love it so much, and I've realised because Lorelai is so ADHD, which I only realised this year. I've been watching it since I was like, I don't know, 12. The dynamic, it's because it moves so fast. Dad always complains that they talk too fast, and I've always been like, no, they talk at the perfect speed.
It's just the adult version of SpongeBob SquarePants for you.
Yeah, because it's like Lorelai's my favourite, and it's the mother-daughter dynamics, and then Emily Gilmore, who's the grandmother, who's just the most savage beast ever.
And if you had to say, is it Chella and Jenny at a stretch? Yes.
Except as I've grown up, I realized that I hate Rory so much, so I don't really want to be identified with her, but also I understand her need to like take 6 books with her everywhere and like the structure and the order, so I get it. In terms of love interests, I think they're all trash, and I've like slowly realized that. I used to always be Team Logan, because Jess like love bombed her and left, and Dean has anger management and was really rank. Like when Rory said I love you for the first time, he broke up with her. Dean said I love you, and Rory was like, can I have some time to think about that? I'm a bit overwhelmed, aka I'm autistic, and he broke up with her. He was like, I built you a car and I said I love you and you didn't say it back, so fuck you. So anyway, Dean's the worst.
Okay.
I always avoid rewatching season 7 because Luke and Lorelai are broken up in that season and I don't like it, and she ends up marrying Christopher and it's not good.
Yeah.
But I did force myself to do a season 7 rewatch this time around, and I hate to say it, but I was kind of like Team Christopher during that rewatch because her and Chris are so much well suited. They're on the same level. He gets all the references. Like Luke is real grumpy and a naysayer and real negative and always kind of.
Do you know anyone that reminds you of Luke in your life?
He's just always kind of bringing the party. Like he's solid and he's sturdy and he's always reliable and loyal, and that's why she loves him.
Yes.
Like he's just always going to be their
It's a
sturdy
relationship
presence
you are
in her
not
life.
accustomed to witnessing.
But he just always like brings the mood down where Chris always like rises to her level.
Yes.
But on the other side of that is he's really flighty and not loyal and not dependable.
Yeah.
But season 7, he kind of finally gets his shit together and is like, I'm ready for you, but it's too late because she's realized she's in love with Luke and he's her person.
Yeah. And you love Luke, a.k.a. Scott.
Oh, true. I was like, why?
Yeah.
Anyway, so Luke is played by Scott Patterson, who also plays Sully in Sullivan's Crossing.
Sully Sullivan.
And for my birthday,
Scott Barrow, a.k.a. Luke.
I got a cameo from Scott Patterson, and it goes for 3.5 minutes.
Unhinged.
And it's unhinged, and I love it so much. I watch it like once a week. But I just chopped together some of my favourite moments from it.
Okay, now if you're watching, he's on the screen. If you're listening, you'll be able to hear him.
You should watch it because there's a moment where he just stares at the screen and you really need to see that. So I would recommend pulling over the car if you're driving to watch this.
Or just wait till you get home.
Or that, sure.
Okay.
Chella, hey,
Say my name.
Scott, how you doing? Your dad wants me to be very extra Luke-like, but that's difficult because I'm not really like that character, and it's I have to sort of be in the situation with the actors and on the set to believe it, to be able to do it. So, and plus I'm in a really good mood, and I just worked out, so I'm not going to yell at anybody. Okay? You know, I turned 21 3 times already. So put that in your pipe and smoke it. No, don't do that. Don't smoke anything. That's just, sorry, Dad.
What?
Sorry.
And it goes like that for 3.5 minutes.
Yeah, there's so much. We'll get the full video and we'll put it up.
Really?
Yeah, we'll send it to people. I'll figure it out.
DM me if you want the full video.
Don't DM her. That would be weird. Please don't DM my child.
DM Emsolation.
No, yeah, good. Okay. So why were we talking? Oh, basically, why are we here?
Sullivan's Crossing.
Sullivan's Crossing.
Gulliver's Travels.
Chad Michael's hair and the axe chopping. I feel like it's in his contract. He must be sexily chopping wood at least twice a season.
Absolutely. What else am I watching it
What
for?
else am I watching it for? Okay, gang. Well, that is it for this week's Emsolation regular edition. What's going to happen now is, I know Chella's just gone on a deep dive side quest, but I have recently started getting into a new band called Fleetwood Mac.
Wow, that's so indie of you.
Yeah. No, I just feel like I'm finally at an age where I can appreciate Stevie and her lyrics.
Okay.
One particular performance came across my desk a little while ago, and I keep thinking about how I want to be able to express the way it makes me feel. And if only I had a podcast that would indulge that. And then I realized I have a child who will not be across this story or the history of this, and perhaps you'll allow me to talk to you about a little song called Silver Springs, which has changed my DNA, which is the ultimate breakup song, which is clearly what Alanis Morissette had on her dream board when she was writing You Ought to Know. There's one live performing of it I want to take everybody through in forensic detail when Stevie sang it to the man she wrote it about on fucking stage. Whoa. That is what we're going to break down in the sealed section. Oh, my God.
Nice.
The other thing that we haven't spoken about completely and utterly forgotten, oh my God.
Wait, are we going to...
What? Mufasa.
Is that what we...
Okay, before we end the episode. No, let's put
Should we do it
Mufasa
for
in the...
extra?
Yeah, Mufasa.
Yeah, sucked in.
Okay. Disney have released porn for those of us who have a cartoon crush on a certain lion called Mufasa. Now, the amount of people that sent me this, I want to say over 100. And I love that I'm sexually aligned with an animal. But we will be discussing the fact that Mufasa has his own TV show coming.
Do you know what I just hear? I just hear you from your stand-up show going, I am the light, Mufasa.
Yes. The joke is, everything the light touches is mine. Step into the light. I'm in the light, Mufasa. That's the joke. So, okay, let's discuss Mufasa and Silver Springs. Okay. Two horny topics in the sealed section. The thing I haven't spoken about yet, though, is that Anomalous, the podcast, is going to be coming out, hitting the airwaves next
Monday, May 6th.
It's happening. It's finally there. You're getting EP 1 and 2. I don't know. This is the thing
Yeah, you've said before.
EP 1 and 2. If not...
Reduce me to tears.
You've listened.
Yeah.
So what we wanted to do now is pop in a little teaser. It's the audio teaser that's going around, just so you get an idea. I know you're all going to jump across and support. I mean, please jump across and support. It's also the kind of thing that I want you to send to people who are at the beginning of their diagnosis journey, at the end of it, who know someone who is. I've tried to make a neat little how-to, because I remember feeling so lost around this process. So it's coming out next Monday, Anomalous, the podcast. I've made it with MIK Productions and in conjunction with us. Chella's been a part of it. Zeke's been a part of it. It's just been a huge project, and it's just been a love of mine, and I'm so attached to it. It's taken a lot out of me. It's taken a lot from me, but ultimately I hope I've made something that can be used to ease the path for people, because I really needed something like this a couple of years ago. So here's the trailer. Oh, God, you know when you put your thing out into the world, it's no longer yours? You know that thing? Mm-hmm. It's terrifying.
Nick Cave said that.
I love Nick Cave.
Yeah, Red Hen Files.
Good for you. See, she's raised well. All right, here's Anomalous. We'll see you next week. On to Sealed Section to discuss Sexy Mufasa and Stevie Nicks and Silver Springs. Bye. Hi, I'm Em Russiano. I'm a writer, a podcaster, a musical comedian, and I'm neurodivergent. I don't represent most people's preconceived notions of what an autistic person with ADHD is. So to help change that, I went on a journey. No, I can't say journey. Can we call it a quest? That makes me sound magical and like I'd have a sassy animal sidekick and I'd be handy with a bow and arrow. In this series, I'm going on a quest. Yeah, that works. With the help of some super smart experts along the way, I'll be exploring why so many people like me are seeking a late-in-life diagnosis. I'm also going to take you through how I found out I was an autistic ADHDer in my early 40s, the aftermath of that, and pass on all of the things I've learned along the way. This is Anomalous, a love letter to the neurodivergent community and a roadmap for neuronormative people.
To enjoy today's sealed section of Emsolation, upgrade your experience and join the Extra family with our premium service, Emsolation Extra. You get 2 bonus episodes direct to your favourite podcast app every week in an exclusive feed, as well as an Ask Me Anything where Em and Michael answer your questions. There's over 70 other episodes awaiting you already, plus you'll also get Instagram close friends access, ticket pre-sales, merch discounts, and heaps more. Help Em keep this independent neurodivergent business alive by supporting us for less than $2 a week on our yearly plan or less than $2.50 a week on our monthly plan. Just sign up at emsolation.supercast.com now. Emsolation is recorded at Down the Hill Studios, hosted by Em Rossiano with Michael Lucas. Executive produced by Benjamin Wasley, produced by Em Rossiano. Edited by Ezekiel Fenn and videos by James Henderson. Socials by Benjamin Wasley, Em Rossiano and Marchella Rossiano Barrow, with assistance from Jem Evans and Isabella Hines. Follow us on Instagram at Emsolation Podcast, or you'll find a link in our bio so you can sign up for our weekly newsletter, join other Emsolators at the Emsolation Group on Facebook, follow our YouTube and TikTok channels, and so much more. Help us out by sharing Emsolation with your friends, give us a 5-star rating, and make sure you're following us by hitting the follow button on your favourite podcast app. Thanks for listening and or watching this week's episode, and we can't wait to chat with you again soon.